Good evening. So, a lot of you know I'm a big baseball fan. I just saw a couple of things happening baseball and Blue Jay wise happening on my Twitter feed today, and I just wanted to make a comment about a few things. So, also, if you are a baseball or Blue Jay fan or a sports fan, you probably know that there is no baseball right now. Now, you're like, Josh, it's February. Of course, there's no baseball. Well, there is no baseball activities right now. There's supposed to be spring training, but it's not happening right now. And like players and teams can't sign, do transactions, anything like that. Um, Now, if you're a person who's like, yeah, the players are on strike, shut up. You're stupid. The players are not on strike. The players have been locked out by the owners. Well, I'm shaking things too much. Sorry about that. And yeah. Uh, so what happened in '94? And like everyone likes to talk about '94 as if they were around, and they probably weren't, and how the strike made them lose interest in baseball. Yeah, I doubt that really. You're probably just a fair weather fan who loved the Jays back in '92 and '93, and then the Jays sucked in '94, and they went on strike, and you didn't go back. Hey, I get it, but don't blame it on the strike. This time around, um, this is 100% on the owners of baseball. The owners have claimed that their revenues are plummeting through the floorboards and into the earth below, which is just bullshit. Yes, the pandemic has hurt them a little bit, but for the previous years, year over year over year over year, for like the last 10 years, Major League Baseball has seen some really, really great growth of revenue. And unfortunately, the players have seen their salaries cut in that time. You're like, just you're millionaires. What do you care? Like, what do you care about billionaires getting their like this is millionaires versus billionaires. And I know it's a bit more nuanced, but you know that did you know that 70% of Major League Baseball players are not millionaires? No. No, because they make $450,000 a year and they pay half of that in taxes. Oh my gosh, and they only make $225,000 after taxes. Yeah, do you know that the average career of a Major League Baseball player is 3 years? So we're talking making less than $600,000 after taxes. I don't know about you, but you're gonna have to make a lot more than $600,000 in your career. So why can't a baseball player? All right. And so I'm just gonna go over a few things that I found today. I wanted to talk about the lockout a little bit because one of these things that I'm bringing up is that the um, players and owners have negotiated terms of a new collective bargaining agreement. Well, that's what they're working on. They don't have it yet, but they have some things agreed upon. And uh, I'm going to share with you one of the things that MLB has agreed upon. So this is from like a fan blog called Blue Jay Nation. Now it's a pretty well put together fan blog. They got like good funding. There's like multiple teams and cities and stuff like that. It's not just a fan blog. It's like paid content writers and stuff like that. So the story is Major League Baseball Players Association has agreed to ban the shift. And he said, which is dumb. Which is a really dumb thing to say. Because right now, what we're seeing happen is things that are like in this picture. Is the information that baseball teams have is so good that they know where a player is going to hit the ball before it's hit. Really, just based on the probabilities of where the baseball player hits. So we see things like this where you have the whole infield stacked up in one small area and none of the baseballs get through for hits. And it really it's detracting from the game. What we're seeing is a lot more just walks, strikeouts, or home runs. Now, home runs and strikeouts are kind of exciting, but walks are not that exciting. And what we're not seeing a lot of is a lot of base hits, and we're not seeing a lot of great base running, where, say, on a base hit, somebody goes first to third or second to home, and these are like exciting plays. And we're not seeing that. So this person contends that it was announced they've agreed to ban the shift, implement a pitch clock, which is to make things go faster and to make larger bases. That's mostly for safety issues. Adding a pitch clock will speed up the game. However, that's where the contradictions begin. He says, how so? He says, to me, banning the shift is the dumbest idea that Major League Baseball can implement. It's perfectly valid defensive strategy that helps teams get out. Get out. Yeah, it is a perfectly valid defensive strategy that helps teams get out. And it makes baseball boring. But it has nothing to do with speeding up the game. Well, making a game take less time, because there's this false dichotomy that this moron has in his head that other people seem to have as well. And that's baseball games need to be shorter and the pace of play needs to be faster. I agree with one of those things. Well, not both. I agree that pace of play needs to be faster. So there needs to be more base hits and things like that, which I think might eventually add a bit of time to the game. But if the game is fast paced and exciting, who really gives a shit if the game is a bit longer? I don't. I'd rather watch 3 hours and 15 minutes of exciting baseball than 2 hours and 40 minutes than dreadful baseball. So his argument is 100% dumb and null and void. All right, so now I'm going to get to a couple of Blue Jay news items. So everyone's favorite player from back in the 1990s was probably either Joe Carter or Roberto Alomar. Now, I say in the 90s because that's when they were good, and we had a lesser understanding of how to evaluate really good baseball players. Now, don't get me wrong, Joe Carter, World Series hero, came up with a lot of home runs and exciting plays for the Toronto Blue Jays. But now in 2022 and for the last few years, we really understand that Joe Carter was a player who had some power, but other than that was pretty much overall, including his power, was an average hitter. He had a very low batting average, and worse so, he had a very low on base percentage, meaning that if he didn't get a hit or a home run, he wasn't very productive uh, at the plate for the Blue Jays. But that we didn't really know that very well in the 1990s. So Joe Carter turned 62 today, and Joe Carter, of course, is most remembered for winning the World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays back in 92 and 93, and of course, most memorable for hitting the game winning walk-off home run, bottom of the ninth inning, Game 6 World Series. Only the second time in the World Series history where a home run won the World Series. So let's watch this.
Here's the pitch on the way, a swing and a belt, left field, way back, Blue Jays win! The Blue Jays are World Series champions! As Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the ninth inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions!
Touch them all.
You'll never
yeah, baby! Look at him. Look how happy he is.
Here's the pitch on.
Oh my gosh. I remember I was 10 years old, almost 11. My parents had woken me up to watch the game in case the Jays were about to win because, well, you know what's really funny? They had won the World Series the year before, and I missed it. I had slept through it. And naively, I made my parents promise if they're back in the World Series next year, you have to wake me up. Like, I'm 10 years old and I'm convinced the Blue Jays are going to every World Series ever for the rest of my life. Little do I know that they barely sniffed the playoffs since then. But yeah, sure enough, I'm sitting on the edge of my parents' bed, me and my, my brother, my sister, my two stepsisters, my stepbrother, my mom, my dad are all sitting in my parents' bed watching the game. And when Joe hit that home run, woo, I went bonkers. And just totally amazing. So often when people post that video, they reminisce. They're like, what's the greatest home run in Blue Jays history? And some people like to bring up the home run that Roberto Alomar hit off Dennis Eckersley in 1992, because that was key in getting them to their first World Series. And then people like to say the home run that Jose Bautista hit back in 2015 to have the comeback of the series against the Texas Rangers. To me, those are both great home runs, very pivotal, very exciting. But Joe Carter's home run won the World Series. That is the dream moment when kids are sitting like playing on their front lawn or down at the local park. This is what they're imagining. Bases, runners on base, 2 outs, down by a couple runs, and you smack the game-winning home run in the bottom of the ninth to win the World Series. Oh man, that is what dreams are made of. Of course, that's the greatest home run in Toronto Blue Jay history. So, one more thing to share with you guys, and that is some pictures from Rogers Center, the renovations that's going on there. So there's been talk over the last few years of possibly rebuilding the stadium, but where would they play in the meantime? Or because the best place really is just to rebuild it right where it is, or maybe relocate it. But there's very little appetite for that. It's a great downtown place, right by the water. It's close to other parks like Scotiabank where the Leafs play, and Exhibition or whatever it's called, BMO Park where the Toronto soccer team plays. It's tons and tons of public transportation gets there. So what the Blue Jays are doing is putting tons of money into renovations at Rogers Center. And I'm going to show you a picture of what the uh, scoreboard looked like the last couple of years. And I'm not going to go back and forth, so I'm just going to point out some things. So look at this. This is the Jays stadium as it is right now. The scoreboard, it's pretty big. As you can see, there's like one row of windows above, and below is a little space, and then the WestJet sign for the flight deck, because below is a standing room area called the flight deck. But look how much space there is between the bottom of the board and the WestJet, and then the standing room only. All right. But let's take a look at the new renovation. Wowie, zowie, kapowie. Now, it's not as a good an angle, but I definitely get the feeling it's wider because it's just taking up so much more of the picture. Because the windows look about the same size, but there's less room on either side. And as you can see, there's still the one row window above, but if we go down, this is where the WestJet was, where the it says Rogers and it says 212. So and then below that is the standing room area, which is the WestJet flight deck. And then in the other picture, we saw the Rogers and the Budweiser logo, but you can see how far the auxiliary or the extra scoreboard go left and right. And wow, Zowie, that looks just so cool, so amazing, so big. You're going to get tons of friggin' information up on the scoreboard. I love when I could go to the game getting tons of information at a glance. I'm an information guy. I'm an information guy when it comes to baseball. I like to know the stats of the player at the bat, the pitcher. I want to know how many pitches he's thrown, how many strikes, how many balls, what he's throwing. 78 mile an hour curveball, 96 mile an hour fastball. I want to see the stats of the hitter versus left-handed pitchers if he's the lefty, or righties. Just really, really cool. So, while baseball might not come back right away, I think it's going to be pretty exciting for those who can make it down to Rogers Center to watch the Blue Jays, who I think are going to be another exciting team this year. All right. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. I'm a fan. Big time of the new rule changes. Pitchers don't need to spend 45 seconds to a minute in between pitches. 25 seconds is enough. Larger bases will make less collisions around the base, especially first base. And then the limiting on where outfielders and infielders go, I think is a great idea. It to me, yeah, you're just utilizing the rules, but we people change the rules in other sports all the time to make it more exciting. Why can't baseball do that, right? Like we have in football, you can't have like the linesman run down the field to catch a pass. So why can we have the second baseman playing in left field? Um, I think it's okay not to do that. I'm big time on board. So guys, if you like the video, do hit like. Please do subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell. Even share the video and comment below. Also, please check out my website, owlcreekcoffee.com. Really great coffee. Roasted when you order, shipped directly to your door. You can get a subscription and everything. Premium quality, fair roast. Freshly roasted, fairly sourced coffee. All right, guys, please check it out. Thank you so much, and peace be upon you.